Good evening and welcome to the Parker Jackson Show. Tonight, Bernard Caldwell has returned to the American roleplay after resigning from president a few weeks ago. We have a spokesperson from his newly launched campaign with us tonight. Republicans are back in control after a major shakeup in the constitutional party. Republicans have taken control of the United States Senate. Senate Majority Whip William Nixon joins us to talk about it. Democracy 2020 as we approach the final day to cast your vote in the House elections. We break down the results as they come in tonight. Let's get into the show, everybody. I'm glad to have all of you with us today, and we got a jam-packed show. But we're going to start tonight with Bernard Caldwell being back in the American roleplay after resigning from his position as president a few weeks ago. This comes as he entered the presidential and House of Representatives race to try to get back in office. Joining me now is our partners at the New York Times, Egg Boiler 2K. Good evening, Egg.
Howdy, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am never better, honestly. That's a joke.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I want to start tonight and just talking about Bernard in general because on one of our previous episodes, we talked about where he was and why he left and why he's back now. Now, I do want to say that do you know why exactly Bernard resigned in the first place?
I do not have a clue.
I do.
I believe it was for personal reasons, and he was gone for over a week, and now he's trying to be back. Sorry, my producer in my ear. Was that for personal reasons? Yeah. So sorry, we're having technical issues here. Apparently Bernard did resign from president as for personal reasons, and those reasons were not exactly stated. He is now back in the American roleplay as of tonight and trying to get back into his presidential position. Now, I guess, Egg, how do you feel about him running for president again after his administration and after he resigned from president in the first place?
Well, I honestly think Bernard is probably one of the greatest Roblox politicians. Like, he's got that cunning sense, like, of personality, and yet he's smart and he knows exactly what he's doing, and so good for him. Um, Honestly, my only opinion, I would say, is just stick with your job because the current administration is not the greatest administration in the world whatsoever, and I would not want to have a repeat of what's going on right now because this man can't even respond to his DMs.
Yeah, and now a lot of people would say about the Bernard administration trying to become president again, why should we re-elect somebody who resigned for a week and then came back? I mean, how do you feel about him resigning for a week and now wanting his position back altogether? Why didn't he just take a leave of absence instead of resigning for 1 week and then returning?
Well, I would say personal things always come up because I would quit this community weekly back when I was back in Noosa. And it was because, things happen and then they roll over, but you don't know the extremity of a situation when it happens. So I do understand where people are coming from, but you don't know the long-term effects of what happens when it happens. So you just need to process it and then you can come back and deal with it later because in the end it's just a game. People can interpret it how they will, but you just need to move some stuff aside and put it behind you sometimes.
Yeah, indeed. Now, anything else you'd like to comment on Bernard?
Um, Good luck in your race.
Do you believe he stands a chance?
Certainly. I mean, he still has an influence over every single individual in this community. So there is definitely a chance. I mean, I could say the same for any person, but he definitely has a really strong chance, especially for only starting a couple of days ago. Sorry,
Yeah, indeed.
yesterday.
Yeah, indeed. And again, thank you so much for joining us. You run the New York Times, if I'm not correct.
That's correct.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're going to now turn to Republicans taking control of sorry, two Republicans taking control of the Senate after an unprecedented switch between the Constitutionalists and the GOP. Over the weekend, key Constitutionalist leaders got fed up with the leadership within their party and took it upon themselves to gather the majority and switch from Constitutionalist to GOP. Joining me now is the Majority Leader, William Nixon. Good evening, William.
Hi, Parker. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? So I guess, how would you describe what happened within the two parties?
I think Michael said something about a break.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. We're having technical difficulties tonight. We'll be right back. And welcome back, guys. We took a short break there because we were having technical issues. And now joining me at the table is William Nixon, who is the GOP Majority Leader in the Senate. Um, Liam, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm pretty good, Parker. How about yourself?
I'm doing great on this fine Tuesday night. So I guess let's just get in right to it. So over the weekend, there was a major switch with constitutional switching over to the Republican Party. Why exactly did they switch?
Well, I think we were really fed up with the leadership within the party, its inactivity, and the sorry state that the party was in. As you saw, Zach left, and that left the party after Bernard resigned in the hands of the former Israeli Prime Minister and Secretary of the Senate Gergug. And yeah.
Now, you were recently elected GOP Majority Leader. Why do you think the GOP casted their vote for you?
Well, because I think I played a key role in the GOP majority.
Yes, indeed. Now, after looking at the elections in the House, how do you feel about the Republican Party almost being projected to take the House and the Senate?
Well, I feel that we have the opportunity to get some serious things done without bipartisan support, which is very, very good considering there are some things that we wouldn't be able to get done without bipartisan support if we didn't have a majority in both chambers.
Yeah, indeed. Now, you have been receiving some controversy online due to your caucus changing bill or whatever it is that apparently you proposed something to where people should not be able to change their caucuses. Would you like to, explain that and clear up the rumors for us
Well,
tonight?
that was I find that free news in their graphics, they go to a frivolous extent. It's called hack journalism, is what it is, to take words and statements out of what I say and use that context to defame my character. But moving on from that, um, what was specifically in the bill is the part about banning party hopping was derived from in 2017 in Noosa, when the Isocrats had the Senate. It was amended to the Senate rules, and that was stricken down. And after in 2019, prior to President James Montague, when Acid Raps was Senate Majority Leader, it was also in effect. And what it is basically, or what I proposed, is the first thing was to ban party hopping, because I would think that in future, once the senators are elected, we were all appointed, but once we have elections, that people won't like to see, say, the candidate they voted for who said he was going to be GOP, they wouldn't like to see that base, the GOP base, elect the candidate, and then the candidate goes and changes to the Forward Party when they're in the Senate. And moving
Yeah,
on from that, another thing that I included in the resolution was the creation, because ACON removed the Armed Services and the Foreign Relations Committee, respectively, when he had group management authority to edit the Senate standing rules without a vote. I'm proposing to create the Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Relations and the Armed Services, and I also propose to adjust or revise in standing rules where it says the Homeland Security Committee gets 6 majority and 5 minority members. It also says that for JAGA. I'm looking to revise that for saying each new committee, or the new committee and the existing 2, get 4 majority and 3 minority members to equal it out to equal 21.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, thank you for coming on and clearing up those rumors and then just explaining what's going on within the Senate. It's always great talking to you.
Yes, it was great to be here.
Have a great night. All right, everybody. When we come back, our Washington correspondent Zarda Vex is going to join us to talk about the elections. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Parker Jackson Show. As we start to close out the show for tonight, the window rather to vote in the first major House election is closing in, and we have the latest on the candidates standing tonight. Joining me now is Chief Congressional Correspondent Zarda Vex to break down their election results as they roll in. Good evening, Zarda.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So, Zarda, I guess give us the overall rundown of what the House elections are looking like. I know last night rather, out of the top 5 people on the leaderboard, 4 of them were GOP and 1 was an independent who was Bernard Caldwell. So, I guess break down where the results are standing tonight.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And as you mentioned, Bernard Caldwell. I just wanted to say, yes, he's coming back. He's coming back. He resigned from the presidency, as you said in the previous segment. He did it for personal reasons. So Biden took up the mantle. But now he's back because he's feeling, as many of us, sometimes we have to take a break. And now he's back and he's feeling, he doesn't feel the pressure that he felt with the presidency. And now he wants to go through something easy where he can, be in control. So that's pretty smart. And I mean, the uptake from the GOP. Wow, they really have been doing amazing lately. The constitutionalists, they've been deformed. They haven't deformed. They've been deformed. They haven't been well organized. There's been many infight. There's been lots of infighting. Basically, a civil war. So it's not surprising to see that the GOP has overtaken them, because it's pretty easy to do that when you have a party that's not doing so well internally. So when you're not doing well internally, other parties are going to take advantage of that, and this is no surprise that GOP candidates are doing really well.
Yeah, indeed. Now, you said that Bernard is running for the House, or is he interested in presidential position again? Because from what I have been hearing from sources, is he running for president in this upcoming election?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Is Bernard running for president in the upcoming election, or is he just trying to get into the House?
Honestly, you can't really tell right now. I do not believe he's going to run for president. As of right now, the race is too tight. But between Bayan and Armin and Akon artists, it's way too tight. But it's very unlikely. That doesn't mean it's not possible. It's just unlikely. But as we know, Bernard Caldwell is very unpredictable, and he surprises us a lot, as we saw in previous groups and previous communities like that. He's very unpredictable. He might just be able to get in the race and steal the game. Maybe he's been able to do that multiple times in the past. However, right now it just seems unlikely, because the election's, I believe, in a few days. So I believe right now, this is what I believe. It's not confirmed. I haven't spoken to him about it. It's just what I believe. From what me and my team have seen here at the office, we've seen that it's a trending pattern. Bernard is most likely to run for House, gain power in the House from individuals like Akon artists. Maybe not surpass him to get speaker, but definitely gain some political power, some friends basically, and then maybe try to do some stuff. Because if he can do that, he will be in control of the agenda for the incoming president, whether that be Bayahan Filipino or Armin Foley, anybody. He'll be in charge of Congress, whether he's speaker or not. So that would be the smartest move that he could make right now. I do not believe he'll run for president again. It would make no sense. So that's what I believe he'll do.
All right, Zarda, thank you for giving us that in-depth analysis. And that's going to do it for our show tonight, but we'll be right back here tomorrow night with all the latest news headlines. Thank you so much for watching the Parker Jackson Show, and we'll see you tomorrow.
I think I gave some